Charting Man Dan with the Chart Guys. In this webinar, we're going to do a little bit of a tour of what the Chart Guys membership entails. It's our Black Friday sale. And so we're going to show you a bit about our chat room, our website, and the indicator that's going to be included, the Superstack. So appreciate you all joining in. Feel free to ask any questions in the YouTube chat as I go. And at the end, I'll be sure to answer any of those questions that you have. First thing I want to say is, well, what makes this even more valuable is in 2025, we're going to be putting out a lot less free YouTube content. And the reason for that is we've been penalized for the last 5 years. And the majority of the time it was just whatever. I don't care. I'm going to keep putting it out. But we're putting out too much content. YouTube doesn't like it. YouTube doesn't like it when we have a live stream and then a crypto live stream and then a stock update all in the same day. And so we're going to go to having one pregame live stream a week and one end of week recap video by myself a week. And so again, that just makes the membership more valuable, as there will certainly be tons of daily content going on in the meantime. So here's the deal. $8.99 for an annual membership. I'll let you know what that includes. But before we get to that, just going to talk a little bit about how great, again, I know I'm biased, but this chat room literally changed my life. And, I'm the guy that's running the chat room with, of course, lots of people helping me at this point. But when we started it back in 2015, I'm running the chat room. I'm answering questions, giving technical. I never in a million years anticipated that I was going to benefit so significantly. It's easily the most mutually beneficial relationship I've ever had in my life, in terms of how much it has caused me to grow as a trader with what everybody's contributions and the amount of knowledge that we have in one place, with everybody having different sectors that they're interested in and different experiences and lawyers and doctors and all of this stuff. I want to talk a bit about the community members first, because I look at a lot of websites and I say, you paid for those on Fiverr. You got somebody to just give you a video testimonial. These people are real. I've met them, the majority of them, at Chart Guys meetups. And at this point, I've been trading with some of these people, Trend here and Devin. I've been trading with them for over 7 years. And the amount of time that entails, and the market cycles that you go through, and the experiences that you share together, of course, everything outside of the charts, we're a community in that sense, with like-minded individuals talking about other things that aren't market related, but even just markets. I highly suggest checking out these success stories for just a little bit of insight in terms of, how did the membership benefit these individuals? Because it benefits everybody in different ways. But again, before the Chart Guys started, I had never traded commodities. Chart Guys members were specifically responsible for getting me interested in cryptocurrency in 2017, which changed my life and allowed me to increase my capital for trading thousands of %. And, Red Devil in the chat room, a member, he got me into I bonds and T-bills when I had enough capital that mattered. And I had never done any of that before. And I asked him questions and he answered them. And, most recently we had D Chung, another member, pointing out the opportunity in these quantum computer stocks. And I did not have my eye on this little subsector, and they all ran hundreds of %, massive opportunity. So the point is, you trade as a team. We all have the same goals. We want to learn. We're here for self-improvement. We want to understand trading better. And we want to profit. And so we share information with each other to help us all strive towards that goal. Because if I've got stronger teammates that are more knowledgeable, then it's going to be more beneficial to me. And so I highly, I would never even consider trading by myself, because in my opinion, that puts yourself at such a big disadvantage. Every single week there's, people talking in the chat room, and I catch something. This is our chat room. It's a Slack chat community, but someone will point something out that I was not watching, and then I'll pull it up, and nobody's saying buy now, sell now. We're not an alert service, but they tell me to pay attention to this is going on. And then I pull up the chart. I see a good risk reward setup that I like based on my experience and knowledge. And then I take a trade that I otherwise would not have seen without help from this individual. But what the Slack chat room entails, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of channels here on the left side. We got general chat where we're doing the play-by-play throughout the day. Lori was holding it down today. We've, of course, got the crypto chat room, talking about things. Swing trade chat room. Was exiting some of my XBI today. Red Devil letting us know what he's looking at. So just a place where we have pretty much just for organization. You know, we don't want just a steady stream of just, you know, text that you get lost in. If I'm not trading crypto today, then I'm not needing to look at those crypto posts right now. I can focus on the things that I'm trading. We've got the full-time traders chat room that has some great informal discussions. Happy hour every Friday. I think this past Friday, yeah, these guys went for 6 hours and 45 minutes. I can remember circling back. I think it was even longer. Circling back and saying 7 hours and 42 minutes. I can't believe that they are still going. But again, they're you know, connecting with each other and sharing experiences. And we've got traders that are in their first 3 months. We've got traders that are in their 23rd year. And it's just a wide spectrum of interaction. In 2025, we are going to be moving away from the Slack chat room towards a different platform that we will be more in control of, but it's 98% the same as Slack in terms of the feel and the look and the functionality and the aesthetics and all that. But all of the history of our chat room is within this Slack community, and it will all, you know, transfer over as well. But, you know, I can go back and look at things that we saved 5 years ago. I can go back and look at, you know, what were we saying on the day when the S&P 500 dumped and had a limit down during COVID. And it's just an incredible resource where, you know, again, we look at these moose threads, and we label them moose threads just because they're very useful, but we have tons of, you know, how many conversations have we had over the last 8 years about someone transitioning from being a part-time trader to a full-time trader? The answer is a dozen. And so we compile all of those conversations with people sharing their experiences, and we put them in one place so you can find them easier. And going to our website, we go to our resources, and we've got a whole bunch of that going on as well. So on the website, use the search feature, look up Moose Thread. And again, when you're a member, you've got access to more stuff that non-members have, but go to the resource collection, and it's just a bunch of all these conversations from over time. Trade review videos, lots of content. Essentially, if you're going through all of the Chart Guy's website and the Slack archives, I mean, you've got years of content in terms of study material and things along those lines. So with the deal, you get access to the chat room community, you get access to the website and the private videos. Some of our educational videos are private, and also the indicator that we are including. So Superstack Indicator, shout out to Toby who helped put this together. It's just a tool. You know, it's not a buy now signal. It's a piece of the puzzle that I want to have as a confluence of other signals. And I'll give some examples here in just a moment. But, well, let's go right now. So here's an example, ANF. So I use Superstack, number one. You know, I keep getting the question in this current market environment, how do I exit? Where do I take profit in a blue sky breakout? A Superstack indicator is when we are at extremes on a number of time frames all aligning. So if you're getting a daily Superstack, it means you are at extremes on the daily, the 12-hour, the 4-hour, the hourly, the 15-minute, the 5-minute. And why this is extremely helpful is, number one, it helps you identify, you know, maximum fear and maximum euphoria when we generally want to be doing the opposite of what our brains are telling us. But it also helps pinpoint where if we're in a Superstack on the hourly time frame and I'm playing for a daily bounce, I know that even if this is not the daily bounce that I'm looking for, the shorter term RSI levels are so extreme that I will likely get at least a short-term bounce to then position. I will be able to position, meaning, you know, again, if I'm playing a 15-minute oversold bounce because we're crushed and we're heading into a support and it's a 15-minute Superstack, then I know that at the least I'm probably going to get a 2-minute bounce real soon where I can sell a third, get my break even, more comfortable, and just maneuver with my positioning. So here's ANF. The backdrop on this ANF setup is massive breakout on the monthly. I mean, just thousands of percent over a couple of years straight up. Okay, so massive bull. But a temporary top has been hit. And at that point, we're dropping down, and this is the weakest that ANF has been the entire run up. And so that means an opportunity is approaching. So we have 2 gap downs in a row. And I can say, okay, monthly EMA 12 is coming into play. That's another little confluence of signals. So we're testing monthly EMA 12. We have 2 gap downs in a row, and turn on the Superstack Indicator, and I can see that day it fired on the daily time frame, daily Superstack. So I know not only is the daily at extremes, the 12-hour, the 4-hour, the hourly, the 30-minute, the 15-minute, the 5-minute, they are all at extremes as well. And you can see up here we've got this little key that tells you the RSI levels on all the different time frames. You can toggle that on or off as you wish, but it tells us we're at some big extremes, and we're likely going to see at least a short-term bounce shaping up. And likewise, we can use it in terms of looking to take some profit. If you're just going straight up in euphoria and, want to take some profit, I use the Superstack. Essentially, all of our indicators, most of them come from my brain. And we then, I sit down with one of our coders and we try and translate the signals from my brain and my experience into, something that can be coded and can be useful. And so this is something that I use when I'm looking for playing oversold bounces and taking profits. Just an example over the weekend, XRP. So XRP, I was not looking at XRP to trade it over the weekend. And then I saw that we had we know that we were breaking out in a big way on XRP. And we then had a hourly Superstack fire. And again, I was not looking to trade XRP. I sit down at the computer. I see a setup where some bounces are likely to be shaping up soon. And it was right here. So I didn't buy the actual Superstack, but I said, okay, we fired a Superstack, and now I have a support level to play off of. And so I was looking for an entry in XRP, got it, playing off that low. And the fact that I knew it was a Superstack, that we reached those extremes, told me, all right, we likely flushed out, a bunch of stop orders, that anybody that had a stop loss nearby on short-term timeframes got flushed out, a little bit of a reset, and again, a support level to be playing off of. And that was enough to make an entry, scale out a bit into the initial bounce, and still have a little bit of a runner in this position. But again, just essentially it got my attention because it was a Superstack. Not just oversold on a ton of time frames and extremes on a bunch of time frames. And so when you're using this indicator, if you're on the shorter term time frame, you see all the alerts with more detail. The more zoomed out you are, the less you're going to see. But obviously, you're not acting on every Superstack. It has to align with most likely scenarios and a trade game plan and a thesis. So again, it's not just like, oh, there's a Superstack fire and I'm going to go buy it. It's, oh, I'm looking for a daily high or low. Hourly is Superstack at some extremes. This is generally a good spot where I can begin building a position for that daily high or low. So as always, same with the back burner, context is important. And the prevailing longer term trends need to align with the shorter term signals. But again, just another signal that lets you know when we are at extremes on a bunch of time frames. So that indicator is included with the sale. You'll get instructions in terms of how to add it to your account once you sign up. But that's just a little perk. Again, the meat of the deal is the chat room. Easily the most valuable aspect. The live streams, number 2. So again, those are on our website. Go to the dashboard. It knows your name. You got your economic events for the day, the schedule of who's streaming. Lori was holding it down today. Again, I'm going to be back live streaming Monday mornings in 2025 after taking a much needed rest from scheduled live streams in 2024. But I'm excited to be back. And what I feel is going to come in 2025, it's real easy to be buy and hold mode the last 2 years. But I do believe that in 2025, active management, active trading is going to rise again as far as the best strategy, because I do believe volatility is coming. I do believe easy bull mode is coming to its conclusion sooner rather than later in the coming months into next year. And again, I'm looking forward to that increased volatility, and I'm looking forward to being prepared for it and sharing insights along the way. All right, beginners questions, another big one. Definitely, there are people, and again, when you're interacting in the chat room, most people start off as lurkers, as did I when I was in my first chat room, which makes sense. You're shy, you're feeling it out. But as always, I encourage people to interact as much as possible, because when I started interacting, when I started answering questions, it was an exponential increase in my understanding and abilities to articulate what I was observing, what I was doing as a trader. And that, again, made me exponentially a better trader. I can say without a doubt that I would not be half as good a trader as I am right now without my 9 years of chat room experience interacting with all these great traders along the way. And again, learning every week, I'm learning something still. And that's why we love this game so much, is because there's no beating it. There's always something to learn, and you will improve your life if you improve yourself as a trader. They go hand in hand in terms of how encompassing being a trader is. And of course, it's not just full-time traders. It's mostly part-time traders. We've got a core of full-time traders, of course, but there's people that can only check in, after the work day or throughout the work day. We've got TCG posts to help organize things where it's just the team. If, you got to check in real quick and see what's going on, that's a way to do it. But can't speak highly enough. And again, it's everybody in the chat room as a whole. All right, I'm reading the comments at the moment. Hope so. Terry, look forward to seeing you. Marlon, frustrated with trading. That is a feature. Being frustrated with trading is a feature, not a bug. That's what happens, and it's going to be consistent. I get frustrated in year 14. It happens a lot less common. It's a lot less frequent. I understand things a lot more, but that's part of the game. And so you have to, again, I'm going to put my face back up here for a minute. So there's an obsession phase of the markets that you have to go through if you are going to make trading a significant aspect of your life. Bear with me with my giant face. All right. So you have to go through an obsession phase, and some people don't have time for that. They put in as much time as they can over the weekends, and that's great. That's very helpful. It just means it's going to take longer, right? If I'm doing 7 days a week for a year, that's going to take someone who's doing only weekends 4 years to get that much experience. But again, when you have technical analysis at the forefront of your attention, where you get done with work or whatever it is, and you check in on the chat room, and it's almost like this continuity that is required, where you check in on the markets, you understand what happened on the day. There's, how much do I talk about rotation in terms of money's going from this sector to this sector, and it's a lot to stay on top of. And so it's essentially, again, relying on your teammates to help you. And, if I'm gone for the day, I can check back in and read the Slack chat room and very quickly catch up on, the main themes of what went on during the day. And so that's an extremely useful thing as well. I know that, being a full-time trader, whenever I am out of the markets, it almost feels a little awkward getting back in, and it takes a while to catch back up before you're comfortable and in that flow again. And so, the best part of having a 24-hour 365 chat room is essentially bridging that continuity even when the markets are closed. And again, that interaction and discussion with each other and networking. And, again, the amount of friends that I've made that are real life friends now in this chat room, from this chat room, it's dozens of people. And that's one of the great benefits as well. We've got the annual meetups. This past meetup was not good in terms of timing it on the weekend with Hurricane Helene here in North Carolina, but looking forward to the next year's because it can't go any worse than that. So for everybody that did show up, appreciate that. And it'll be better next time. I promise. All right. Appreciate the likes and the shares. So check out the Black Friday deal. Thinking if I'm forgetting anything, explore the website, use the search feature on the website. And, another perk, if you are new to the chart, guys, we'll do a Zoom call with a few people, maybe half to, I don't know how many people are going to be on it, but Zoom call with me in terms of, a little getting to know you type of deal, answer any questions, etc. So Mike just answered that. Yes, we have more part-time traders than full-time. We've got probably 100 plus full-time traders, and we've got many hundreds of part-time traders. It's definitely the more common thing. And personally, I'm going from all in 7 days a week trading, day trading constantly, to more swing trading over the last couple of years, and getting more in that mindset as well. Because again, you go through the obsession phase where you're on the computer for what seems like your entire life, and then you pump the brakes and step back a little bit because the last thing you want to do is be on your deathbed and say, why did I spend 47,000 hours on the computer when I could have been enjoying life a bit more? So there's a balance with everything, but again, plenty of everything. We got everything. We got people in their 80s. We got people in their late teens. We've got people all over the world. People that have tried to be full-time traders and failed. And, now's not the time in their life for them. And so they take a step back and do other things. We got people that are just trying their full-time trading journey right now. And again, having access to, number one, talking to full-time traders throughout the trading day. We are always answering questions. It's extremely rare for us to miss answering a question. It'll happen like once a month where we'll miss a post. But you can also interact with people who have experienced the things that you've experienced. If you're asking me about my transition to a full-time trader, that's 14 years ago. I can't remember the fresh details. You can talk to somebody who did it 2 years ago and has much better, relevant, recent insight. It's also a very different game than when I was starting out 14 years ago. Now Twitter is a massive influence in the movement of stock prices and things like that. And so, one of the exciting things about trading is it is going to constantly evolve and change. And I always say, we're going to be trading technology stocks that we can't even comprehend. We're going to be trading organ replacement where you have a pod in your house that grows your organs. I'm obviously just making stuff up, but anti-gravity technology, the amount of opportunity, as long as there's markets, as long as society doesn't collapse, there is massive opportunity in markets. And a lot of us have gotten really good at recognizing those opportunities and positioning for them to better our lives outside of the screens. And so our goal is to pass that along to you in terms of giving you more confidence to be able to manage your life on your own and understand this game. It's a giant game. It's the most real video game that our society has ever seen in terms of its implications, but it is a giant video game, and you can get good at it if you put in enough time and effort. And we've got a whole bunch of people to help along the way. I misread your question, Mike. Part-time traders, full-time travelers. Yes, we have some of those. We got a bunch of people in vans traveling around, maybe not full-time travelers, but definitely often traveling. Tutorials, how to set up TradingView layouts and indicators. Yes. So again, see ya. Go to the website, TradingView. So you'll get how-to guide, how to use TradingView. Joey has made multiple videos. This is all swing report stuff, but under our resources, there was where we just were, there was our chart layouts, how Lori sets up her charts, how Dan sets up his charts, how Joey sets up his charts. If you go to YouTube, there's a couple of videos on there. Chart Guys, TradingView. How to set up TradingView alerts. Thanks, Ramon, 3-year member. Appreciate that. Again, we've got people on year 8, tons of year 7s, some year 9s even. All right. Make sure and do good things, everybody, and I hope to see you soon.